डॉक्टर बाबासाहेब आंबेडकर ओपन युनिव्हर्सिटी.
Namaskar. I, Dr. Darshana Dalwadi, is welcoming you all to the lecture series of Master of Science Information Technology. Today we are going to see about paper 105 Software Engineering, in which we are going to learn about block 2, unit 1, software measurement and estimation. Dear learners, in previous lecture we were also having this discussion that how we are going to measure the estimation of software, how we are having different key attributes which are helping us in our software, then what is the importance of measurement, means why measurement is important, why we require it, and then after we discuss about software measurement challenges. When we are measuring the software, at that time we also have some challenges which we have to face. So these things we have already discussed. In today's lecture we are going to discuss the remaining point of this measurement part. Now in this lecture what we are going to see? In this lecture we will try to cover software size measures, then after FP calculation and software cost estimation. Now dear learners, as we know that when we are talking about the software size measures, at that time what we have seen the key attributes, right? Now key attributes, see, you may have the question that if we have already discussed key attributes, then why we have to have this software size measures? Key attributes are helping us to measure the software. Now what we are going to see is about the size of the software. Now for software size measurement we have two types of attributes, we can say. First one we have, that is LOC, and second one we have, that is FP. LOC stands for lines of code and FP stands for function point. Now what we have in LOC? Now when we are talking about LOC, then we can say, as the name suggests, line of code. It means number of lines of code we have in our overall software. Now let us see what is given to us for the point of discussion. LOC is measured in terms of number of lines written in a source code, and when we are considering source code, we just have to consider the source code only. Means in source code we may have the comments or we may have the blank lines, so we do not have to consider that. Only the code which is for providing the functionality, extra comments, extra blank lines, that we have to skip. That source code is only considered. It is also referred as SLOC, that is source lines of code, as we are only considering the source code. There are many languages where executable statements can be split into more than one line, or many executable statements can be accommodated in a single line. We may have the statements in which one line is divided into more than one lines, and we may have the case where more number of statements are combined in one sentence and it is forming whole statement. So it may happen. So only logical lines, when we have such situation, then what we have to do? Only logical lines of code we have to consider, where one measures number of executable statements for being more precise and consistent. What we have to consider? We just have to consider that number of executable statements, the statements which are going to be executed, that only we have to consider if we have such situation. Then hence for C like statements, for C like programming languages, it will be a number of statements which are terminating with semicolon. when we are talking about this C program, then how we will consider number of lines? By finding the semicolon sign. Wherever we find, it will be considered as one line. When we are having this approach, this may it may happen that when we are having any code, at that time there that code is having number of lines in the form of thousands or more than thousands. So in that case, that line of code will be written with the letter K. LOC will be there. With LOC we will add one more letter, that is called KLOC, where K is representing the number 1000. So if we have 1000 lines, so we can say 1K. Instead of writing 1000, we will write 1K. So if a program contains 5500 lines, for example, it is given to you that suppose the program is there which is containing 5500 lines, then when we are referring it in the form of size, then it will be written like 5.5 KLOC, right? When we are having this LOC, at that time we can say that every line of code is a work and requires effort. Line is written, it means it is some work, and to write it some efforts are given. Even when some defects to be fixed, we analyze early line of relevant portion of the code and find that a specific line or statement may be or may not be correct. So when we have such situation, so we may spend more time on some lines and less time on many other lines. This type of situation may arise. Through LOC, we can quickly calculate that how much estimation will be there. But when we are able to consider this calculation, when the code is ready. When the code is ready, at that time we are able to measure the LOC which will be required for that project. And we have three type of values which we need to consider when we are calculating it. First value we have, that is optimistic size, called as SOPT. Second one we have, that is most likely size, called as SM. And third one, pessimistic, called as PESS, SPES. When we are talking about the total of these three things, means what will be the size of the software, then size S will be calculated with one equation which contains addition of these three type of size values. But when we are talking about this, at that time we have to multiply the most likely size by 4 when we are trying to find the equal total size of the software. So the equation formed is like this: SOPT plus 4SM plus SPES, right? Whatever answer you get, divide it by 6. That will be the answer of your size S. For example, it is given to you that suppose for a given component, optimistic size is 1700 LOC, line of code. Most likely size is 2200 and pessimistic size is 2500. Then what will be the estimated size for this component? It will be like this: 1700 plus 4 into 2200 plus 2500, divide by 6. For this equation, we are getting the answer as 2167. So that will be your estimated size. Now when we are talking about LOC, it is having some advantages as well as some disadvantages. Now let us have the look on its advantages. First one, it is very simple to calculate once the code is ready. We can use even simple tools to calculate it. Second, we have that is some popular costing estimation methods are available for finding the estimation. It is considered to be ideal for procedural languages, and industry standards for different languages are available to start with the subsequent parts past experiences within the same organization, which can be considered for estimating LOC in advance. Similar projects if you have done in past, then you can consider that for estimating the size for the new project. These are the advantages. With it, some disadvantages or we can say limitations are also there. Different programmers may achieve same functionality using different approaches. Now it may happen that you have the functionality and two persons are working on it. It may happen that both are having different way of thinking, the different logic they are applying. Ultimately they are trying to achieve the goal only, but the way they are writing is different. So the number of lines they will write may differ. So number of lines required by each programmer may be different, even if they both are trying to deliver the same functionality. So at that time, if you are measuring this size, then it will be of no use, because one programmer is writing the functionality with the help of 10 lines, and the same functionality the other programmer is writing with the help of 20 lines, or it may happen that he or she is writing with 5 lines. So this difference will also be affecting. So in such cases, this is not going to be help. Estimated size is required in advance so that planning and tracking can be done, but estimating accurate LOC of new project is very difficult. When we are talking about this estimation, it is required in advance so that we can do the proper planning of our software, but for a new project it will be very difficult to find. So one may initially estimate 100 LOC for a specific functionality, but it may actually require only 70 lines, or it may require 120 lines. Project manager can use past experience data for similar projects, but it is very rare that it may happen that two projects are similar, and even if they are similar, many different aspects which are including working of programmers, use of technology, use of softwares, this may result in different sizes. So softwares are similar, but it may have some differences. So there are very less, or we can say rare chances to have similar softwares. So these are the disadvantages we have. Another we can consider, that is measure indirectly conveys that higher number of lines means higher amount of work, and hence it will be better. But this is not the reality. Every time it is not so that if you are having more number of line, then your software product will be of good quality. The same thing you can achieve with the less number of lines also. So this is also an point which we need to consider as a disadvantage. Next is size in LOC may not be easily accepted by users if they do not have detailed technical knowledge of specific programming language. If the user is not aware of the programming language used in software development, then they do not be able to accept it easily. They need to apply their efforts to accept that software. Same functionality may require different number of lines if coded in different languages. It may happen that when we are having functionality, we are writing with 2 different languages or 3 different languages. Functionality is same, but all these 3 or 2 languages are having different syntax and different semantics. So the number of line may have variation. It is language dependent. Because of this, cross language comparison is also difficult. Now, line of code depends on the language, means how many lines you will have. If you are considering for one language, it is not so that for all other remaining languages the line of code will be same. It may have some differences. So this is also a point which we can consider as a limitation, means it is language dependent. So it is one disadvantage. The entire software development project involves many activities which is covering requirement understanding, design, testing, documentation and management. Apart from coding, only coding is not there which we need to consider. Apart from this, we have many other activities which we need to consider when we are estimating the software size. These activities are taking lot of efforts. So considering only coding output as LOC does not help in accurately measuring overall project. If we are considering the overall project's estimation then and we are only considering coding, then it will not give the accurate result. Accurate measurement will not be there because some other factors are there which we need to consider when we are considering the overall project. So this is the limitation. After that, we have another software size measure which is called as function point, FP. This was developed by Alan J. Albert in 1970s. Function point analysis quantifies the functions which are contained within softwares in terms which are meaningful to the software users. We can say that whatever functions you have which are useful to the user, that are considered for this and function point analysis. It expresses the amount of business functionality the information system provides to the user. What it expresses? FP expresses the amount of business functionality which your system will provide to the user. It focuses on functional size. Main focus is on functional size. It is not dependent on the programming language and the approach taken to develop the code, and hence more consistent. You can say that actually we are seeing FP, it means we are actually comparing it with LOC, what we have in LOC and what we have in FP. See learners, if you have the question that differentiate LOC and FP, then you can discuss this thing. LOC is language dependent, which is a limitation of it. While when we are talking about this FP, it is not language dependent. It is not dependent on programming language, and because of that, which is more consistent. It does not change from developer to developer and language to language, and because of that, it can be applied across wide range of development environment and can be used at any stages from early requirement definition to the full operational use. From starting to end, at any time of point you can use this FP. Each of the business function is a numeric index according to its type and complexity based on standard set of basic criteria. When we are talking about these business functions, it will have one index number. We can say numeric index. It will have some value in numeric value. How it will be calculated? How you will calculate the numeric value? To calculate it, you need to check its complexity, as well as the you also have to consider the standard set of basic criteria. Based on that, you will get one value which will be called as a numeric index value for that particular business function. All the numeric indices are then added up to give initial measure of size, which is then normalized by incorporating various factors relating to overall software. whatever indices you are having, more than one indexes you have, then that is called as the indices. Now that are added with initial measure of size, and based on that you will have overall software measurement. The final number which you are getting is called as the function point index, and which is representing the size and complexity of your software product. Whatever final number you are getting after adding up this initial measure complexities with it, what answer you get will be your function point, and it will represent the size and complexity of the software product. Actual calculation approach in detail we will discuss in remaining session. Right now we just have to understand that what is the meaning of FP. After that its advantages are given to us. Now what are the advantages we have? It can be measured at any point of time, even at the time of function specification also. You can use it at the time of modeling, designing. You can use it at the time of deployment also. So no limitation is there when you can use it. You can use from starting to end, any point of time, whenever you require. It is independent of technology, programming languages, and because of that, comparison of two projects of the same nature can be done even if both are developed in different technologies or programming languages. In LOC, what happens if you want to do the comparison, then it will be difficult if the language is different, or if the technology used is different, or if the persons who are working on them are different. But here in FP you do not have that limitation. Whosoever is working, whatever technology they are using, whatever programming language they are using, it doesn't dependent on it. So FP you will have for one technology, you may apply it for another technology also. So that is the advantages. Third one we have, it is helping us to measure three things. First one is development function, which is the function point that includes prototype and temporary solutions for planning and tracking purposes. Second type of function point we can find, that is application function point, which excludes prototype and temporary solutions. And third one we have, that is enhancement function points, which is for new functionalities which are added to the system. This FP helps us to calculate three type of function point: development function point, which is including prototype and temporary solution for planning and tracking. Third one we have, that is application function point. Whatever development function point includes, these things are excluded from this and remaining things are included. And enhancement function point, if any new functionalities are added, then we can have this enhancement function point. It is possible to attempt improvements in the productivity and cost without impacting the size. Another advantage we have, that is the possibility of having improvement in productivity and costing without impacting the size. If we are using FP, then it will help us to find the improvements, or to apply improvements in productivity and costing of the overall software. Industry standard productivities are available for use as a starting point. Subsequently, organizations can collect the data for the project and use them for future project. If you want to start somewhere, then you are having industry standards productivities available which you can use for starting your software's estimation. Customer can easily check whether the output delivered is really as expected or not by comparing initial committed size with actually delivered size. What is actually delivered and what is committed one? They can compare both and can find that whether this commitment is fulfilled in output or not. Then after we have development team can use various tools or process improvement approaches so that the productivity can be increased. To increase the productivity, various tools are available which can be used by the development team. It is possible to measure performance trends across periods of time at an organization level. Now, to understand that, one example is given to you. Organization can expect that if 1000 FP required X effort for 6 months back, then it should now take less than X effort for some other project of 1000 FP. It is having the point that it is possible to measure performance trends across period of time at an organization level. At different level of time, you can consider that what will be the performance measurement for your project. Suppose for one particular project, some organization is having the requirement of X effort before 6 months back for 1000 FP. So it should take less than the X effort for the same 1000 FP project. So this is the advantage we have, that we can consider this thing which we were not able to consider in LOC. With it, some disadvantages of function points are also there. First one is, method is based on subjective data rather than objective data. It is subjective. It is not focusing on objective type of data. So that is its limitation. Second one, it has no direct physical meaning. The FP which we are using, it is not having any direct physical meaning in your software. It means it is directly not related to any case, in any case with your physical software's requirement. So this is also one limitation of this FP. So learners, today we are keeping up to this. I hope we have discussed very well whatever is given to you. In this lecture we have discussed about software size measures. First one was LOC and second one was function points. Remaining topics of this unit we will discuss in next lecture. So up to that, namaskar.
स्वाध्यायः